And this one's going to be pretty revealing for something Baralai was angry at Nooj about beneath Bevel.
I'm glad you're all right.
You're not mad?
Mad?
I kept you from dying.
You can owe me one.
Why did you follow us?
Because she's your friend.
I want to know what it was you all saw back there.
Problem is, we don't know.
We'll figure it out one of these days. We'll tell you then.
Well, the Maester's not going to be pleased when he finds out we're still alive. Moving as a group is too risky.
Want to split up?
That would be wise.
Your work's done. Why are you still recording?
One for old time's sake.
I love how we see into the agency there. I know I said it already on the detective stuff with Rin, but I think it's cool.
Who? Nooj!
I said your work's done.
Oh, Pain! Come on, Pain, you have to talk to us about that. Remember Baralai said, why did you shoot Gippal and me? That's it, that's the moment there. All right, and so the story should be fairly evident for you guys. I'm going to explain it as we get back onto the airship here, because we are about to resolve this story. Here we go. So, Shuyin went into Nooj while he was in that cave, right? And everything that Nooj said in these most recent 2 Crimson Spheres, where they're like, oh, I don't know what it was, Shuyin was still in Nooj that whole time. Shuyin was manipulating the other people to pretending that he was still, you know, normal old Nooj. And just as the members of Yevon tried to have the 3 of them killed when their backs were turned, Nooj tried to do it as well, or Shuyin tried to do it. Why did the guys of New Yevon try to do that? Because they knew there was a chance Shuyin had just gotten out of that cave. Those are the theories anyway. We've got all of the Crimson Spheres now. We're going back to Mushroom Rock, which is now, as you can see... Oh, actually, Bevel became a hotspot. Mushroom Rock should become a hotspot. Damn it! All right, well, here we go. One thing I did want to talk about, guys, again, I feel bad that I'm not talking about it enough, considering it's often in your faces, I guess. My capture card, I'm still on this same old capture card. I've been Googling around trying to find solutions. But the thing is, the problem of the weird glitchiness that happens and so on, that actually only manifests after long recording sessions, which are exclusively what I have to do in X2, because it's a long game. So I can basically look up theories on how to fix it, try the theories, and then see after the recording is done whether we're okay or not. That's basically the only options I've got. So hopefully you can all see here that the game's okay in this recording session, but I have no way of knowing. By the way, it's a massive pain in the ass on my end when it happens. I have to essentially re-record everything and just spend hours where I can't use my PC, which totally sucks. But I hope it's not there. I am still looking into it. All right. There's actually 2 things we're doing here at Mushroom Rock before. Number 1, yes, is the cave, which I'm fairly confident we can do. The cave is actually quite difficult. Don't forget it's balanced, such that you can only enter this cave if you have done everything, all right? You've got all the hidden things, the hidden one back in the LeBlanc Syndicate Chateau, you know, in that ridiculously well-hidden chest, the one with the LeBlanc Syndicate in the engine room at the end of Chapter 4 that you can easily accidentally miss by speaking to Shinra early. Every single one of the Crimson Spheres that has been difficult to find is necessary to see what you guys are about to see. Wow, we just got Auto Engine. That was quick. Not only that, but you do have to start the Via Infinito too. Now, not that those first few bosses and areas were quite hard, but they were considerable. Now, before we jump down, I'm just going to quickly go over to the elevator, and I'll give you a good reason why in 1 second. All right, here we go. So we're up at the lift. Why did we come all the way up here, Wooden Potatoes, you wonder? Well, you guys remember that there was a chest up here? I had to do like an annoying run back to it a while ago. Here we go. I thought it was around on that corner. Where Waka once upon a time got punched, I believe. Oh, no, sorry, Luzu got punched. You get this item here in Chapter 5. It's the Machina Booster. The Machina Booster is another one of our oh-so-important key items that upgrades the girls' special dress spheres. That's now Riku done, okay? So you've got Riku here, Pain here, the booster and the reactor. So all we've got is Yuna left. Now, there are the places where you get Yuna's ones are actually very easy. One of them is just quite out of our path and is a chest. A couple of you guys saw it and I never opened in a previous chapter. But the loot doesn't change until chapter 5 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, we do want to quickly go up there and grab that before we come down to do the Den of Woe. So with that done, let's get to the door. Oh my god! Alright, down we go. Oh, back into the room. So, a bit of backstory. Again, remember, not only are there all these treasure spheres. I wonder if this chest is refilled. Not only were there all these treasure spheres that we've had to collect, but do you remember way back into chapter 1 when we first came here, we detected like crazy amounts of sphere levels and sphere waves. Don't forget Shinra, placing the comm sphere, and he found that it was being like manipulated with a lot, and there was a lot of energy here. Whatever's been going on in this cave is pretty significant. Now, I think we've already built the full story in our minds. You can basically piece the pieces together, as we explained, but let's see what the conclusion actually is. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Oh, this payoff's gonna be great. This cave, man. Oh my god. Silence. Let's go put our spheres in, shall we? Now, we could have done this at any point. We could have, you know, pressed A millions of times. But there you go. That's what it looks like when we put all in at once. This, my friends, is known as the Den of Woe. Pain, you're back.
Time to face my past. Come on.
The conclusion. I love the thought that you could get here without actually having watched the spheres. The conclusion. And you'll see why this place is so important to someone else very soon, as I said it was in the previous game. All right, let's move. So we've got a bit of a winding passageways. Again, it doesn't actually matter if I have the charm bangle equipped right now because there are no random encounters in here. We've got a couple of little places we can jump to. No chests or anything, as you can see. Obviously, we have seen glimpses of this already. Number one, the tile set of the dungeon, similar to some of the other ones we've been too sure. But we have seen glimpses of this in a couple of the Crimson Spheres before. Actually, one of the ones I showed you guys, I didn't even really like that much. When you see Baralai, Nooj, and Gippal running around in here. It was just too long and not enough was really happening. Okay, well, this one's pretty creepy. Another dead end. Man, that was a fiddly load of arse. I'm probably going to cut that out. Me trying to get back over that thing. Oh, my God. All right, let's just go straight to the red line, shall we? Let's do the red arrow. Of course, what's important. Oh, guys. I hope my girls are good enough for this. I'm sure they are. Given what we just experienced in the Infinite O, I'm sure they're good enough. I mean, I'm just so full of my old experiences when I was a lot younger. And not being sure what was going on. And I don't even know how strong my team was back then. Okay, here we go.
Something's coming!
Guys!
Just like what we saw in Xanakin's. Reflections of the past.
You okay?
What was that?
Are they unsent? No, that can't be right.
Fireflies. I've seen this before.
Like the Moogle?
There are places where fireflies cling to people's memories and make them eternal.
Those were the guys' memories from back then. Preserved by the fireflies. Memories.
Just like Xanakin's.
Or 2-year-old nightmares.
Older than that.
Shuyin! You?
I wanted to rest forever, but the fireflies make me relive that moment. Again, and again, and again.
So Shuyin was trapped here, in this cave.
No! No! No!
Riku! Something's wrong! Stay back!
What's actually happening here is really, like, kind of obscure just to make the story work. I don't actually believe this is Shuyin. This is the fireflies showing what Shuyin was like in the cave. But nonetheless, he's got the same powers he usually does, possession, right? That's basically what he can be summed up as, an unsent capable of possession.
What's going on?
Pain.
You will see.
Is he gonna get us too? No, he hugged us. Does he see us as Len? Yuna! This song, by the way, this is called Nightmare in the Den. There was an OST, I've talked about this before actually in the previous game, which is purely just piano versions of 10 and 10-2 soundtracks. And this one is like one of the best songs on that.
You must stop! That's enough!
Len's voice. Oh, the cut, man. Because that's his last memory, looking down the barrel of a gun. And then he's dead. And so here's the thing. This is where his body was trapped. This is where his soul was trapped.
Stay back!
And Yevon knew it all along.
This is our story, Len.
Oh my god. Don't you say it's your story.
Don't make me say this again! I'm not Len!
Look at that stance.
Stop!
Oh god, here we go.
Riku?
Oh, but we stopped. Intense, man. All right, here we go. All right, it's us versus Riku. We are alone. Now, what's usually quite difficult about this and quite important about this is that, you know, you don't have the support of anyone else. If you die, it's game over straight away. No one can Phoenix down you, stuff like that. There is a very good reason that I have Yuna on the tankier setup. I did consider this a long time ago, because if she was my tanky girl, I knew she'd have the sustain to handle someone like Riku here. I mean, I could have even put Force of Nature on Yuna before this, and she'd just be able to hit herself to heal up. So we have to attack Riku here, and it's got some sad music. And hopefully we'll be okay. I don't even really know what Riku's capable of doing on this. There we go, 2 hits. Oh, she's just weak. Hang in there. She's going to throw items at herself. A grenade. Riku, don't throw our grenades at us. Those are our stocks. And as she falls, you'll see the fireflies come out of her.
Snap out of it!
The fireflies coming out are Shuyin, or this cave's representation of Shuyin, because Shuyin, in theory, is with Vegnagun right now down below in the far plane. And Pain cannot resist it either, but now... I wonder why they say, basically, that... It's interesting to me that they have Riku fall first. Is that like they're suggesting, oh, Riku is the worst of the two, like she's the weakest? I really do think the only reason Yuna survives is because Shuyin won't possess her because he doesn't feel malice to her because he believes that she is Len still, you know? And I actually think, you know, given the way that this game does a lot of stuff, the Hayate, I think, was a really good plan there. It would have been really cool, actually, if... The only way to progress in this, you enter the cave with Yuna on the songstress dress for or something. Something that obscure and weird and obnoxious is exactly up this game's alley. And there you go. A couple of attacks and Pain goes down too.
Shuyin is no ordinary unsent.
Seems that way.
No, you're right.
When he died 1,000 years ago, his feelings became intertwined with the fireflies, creating this apparition.
He's like a dream. Or a nightmare.
He must have had some serious regrets for his feelings to act on their own like that.
This is what destroyed the squad. Despair strong enough to crush the minds of those it touches. What just happened to us happened to them, too. Here, they felt Shuyin's despair. They went mad. And they died. They killed each other.
But these three didn't. Now remember, Nooj was a Death Seeker. That's why he was the easiest to be possessed. He felt the despair too.
But these three lived. So, I decided to use them.
To escape.
Pay!
I love the thought that Yevon was so complicated. So here we get Baralai, but we've got all three girls. I'm really not too worried. It's kind of interesting to think that Yevon was simultaneously doing the Machina, the Mihen operation to... don't forget, that alone was an operation destined to fail. That alone was just there to make people stop losing faith in the temples and solidify everyone's understanding that Machina couldn't save them from sin. Yevon was doing that. Keenock was there orchestrating that with Seymour at the same time as they were also trying to resolve and hamper with this cave where they knew this other dark secret was lying. There was this friggin' haunted, terrible cave here that was possessing people. And, you know, that they had that same operation going on there too. And so, of course, we get Gippal straight away after. This was your other opportunity, by the way, to get that blue bullet from Barreleye if you missed it in Chapter 2 at the end. But here on International, we do still have the Fiend Arena anyway, so that's fine. And then last but not least, we get Nooj, who is a bit of a boss, but really can't compare to our girls as they currently are. And we should just be able to zerg down. So there should still be some questions on our mind. And in a lot of ways, I think the story, you can look at it and be like, oh, this is stupid. What? Powerful emotions just made him evil and made him powerful? I guess they kind of had precedent for that in the previous game as like the themes anyway. But there is actually more detail. There is more to go into. There is still his likeness to Titus to talk about.
Anyways, let's go outside. I don't want to be here!
Me either.
It was Shuyin. 2 years ago, the guys encountered Shuyin's memories and learned of Vegnagun. After we escaped, they said they would uncover the truth behind it. But then Nooj shot us. We thought he'd betrayed us. But Nooj wasn't Nooj. I understand now. Shuyin was using him the whole time.
Let's go find him, Pain.
Agreed. We've got to free him from Shuyin.
Not so fast.
What?
Remember when the three of them were meeting in the Bevel underground? All these fireflies came floating out of Nooj's body in a big cloud.
Right, Riku.
And then they went whooshing into Baraleye's body. So, doesn't that mean Shuyin's using Baralai now?
Oh. Hey, Riku, not bad.
See, so Nooj is back to normal.
I guess it's Barreleye we're saving then. By the way, you'll be helping.
Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, you've already dragged us all over Spira.
Thank you.
See, this is totally Pain's story. You see? It's totally Payne's story. Episode complete here, by the way. If you got the Xanakin bug where you did Xanakin last, you can still save it by having this one here. Now, let's have a little look at what we got. We got Black Law, we got Champion Belt, Crystal Ball, Kaiser Knuckles. Those are all things we've had before, but check it out. Magical Dances Volume 1. So we had Volume 2 earlier. This is where Volume 1 comes from. Yuna can now actually max Songstress, and I guess the idea of that item being tied in here is the story-wise, it's all about Len, right, and Songstress, and so there you go. That lets her fully tap into the power of Len, I suppose. There are still some questions left unanswered, like Shuyin's likeness to Tidus. There are theories on that, but also a friend of mine linked me quite recently some Ultimania Japanese. These are like official guides to the game from Japan. For these games, they actually do have even more lore and story that I want to read to you guys later. You know, stuff like how is his body in this cave? It should be pretty obvious to you then also here that Vegnagun was never in this cave. It was just that the guy saw the Firefly's representation of Vegnagun because Shuyin's tortured, unsent soul was replaying the moments of his death constantly, and the Fireflies kept manifesting it to him. Imagine being stuck, for example, in the Xanakin Dome for all eternity just to watch something really tragic that happened to you over and over and over again. And that's how you can't let it go. And that's how you end up becoming so angry. And that's why when you escape, you feel like you're still at that moment where you died and you want to use Vegnagun again. So you inhabit someone and you run off. And that's basically the story there. Here we get a great garment grid as well. Supreme Light. That's most of the pieces of the puzzle in place now, guys. The last main thing is, what's Tidus got to do with all this? And so here you go. This is Supreme Light. You'll notice it's white magic. You can learn auto life. You can use it. But then also all the gates gives you Holy. Holy is not easy to get in this game, all right? But the thing about that might seem good, it's only 3 gates, but actually look at the structuring of the garment grid. Holy is actually a pain in the ass to get. I don't think that there's a way to just seamlessly each grid go through there. Maybe I'm not seeing it, but I'm pretty sure there will always be like a dead spot where there's no gate that you go through. And a lot of garment grids aren't designed that way, so I don't know whether we'll use it. You guys know what the Holy animation looks like anyway, but there you go. That is Supreme Light for you. And in X-2, it's kind of one of the rarest skills, which is pretty cool. Ultima, of course, as well, we've barely seen any of, even though we're quite near the end of the game here. Riku, what's going on? I guess we better take care of all 3 of the guys. I did plan to tell you, you've earned a lot of respect points. Well, there you go. So that's the story, all right? Nooj was possessed, kills the guys. All these tensions appear between their 2 respective parties. Then in the middle of this game, with that crazy, super well-hidden Bevel cutscene in Chapter 3, you actually notice that it leaves Nooj and goes into Baralai. And what that does is that keeps the players who don't see that ultra-hidden scene super in the dark. Do you see how that scene in Chapter 3, the really, really crazy one, to find is like the knot that holds everything together? Without that information, without that Crimson Sphere, you really are left in the dark at the end of the game as to what exactly happened. But that specific thing, watching Shuyin leave Nooj, go into Barreleye, explains what's happening. That's why Barreleye is currently being crazy. That's why Gippal and Nooj are currently adventuring in the far plane to save them. Aha! The Elusive Tonberry. I guess this won't be uploaded for a long time, just because I know the location of this Fiend's Tale. Just for reference, I mean, the episode that this finally goes up in is a long way away. I would have been recording this months before you guys are finally seeing it. Anyway, the Tonberry. We caught this guy at Mushroom Rock. They are rare Fiend encounters there. And finally, we get to see their Fiend Tale. So the Tonberry says, you guys are, like, doing a lot of research on us, right? Like, we don't know that your scientists have been trying to learn more about us. Please. But really, in the end, you've learned nothing about the secrets of Tonberry life. I guess it can't be helped. We live so far underground. This is a good opportunity for me to tell you more about us. You're interested, right? Our kind all get along, and we never fight. We're very peaceful, despite being fiends. I mean, just look at our faces. Don't we look serene? We don't think too deeply about things. We don't sit around worrying very much. We forget bad things the next day like it never happened. Don't you think that's a positive approach? We do things at our own pace. We're not competitive. We just want to have fun and laugh all day. We're good at making others laugh. We can do both fool and straight man. Every day is a riot. We have karma and chef's knife, so other fiends are pretty wary of us. So we're never in much danger. Don't you envy us? Although our average lifespan is shorter than other fiends. Go figure. Ooh, that was a creepy laugh. Why are your lifespans shorter than others? I guess we'll see. I'm back. Welcome back. Sorry I'm so late. This place is so deep. I was digging, so it took time. Yeah, right. Whoa, he just knifed him. Oh, ow, that hurts. What are you doing? Why me? And they're all dead, literally. Enough already, says this big ass Tonberry back there. Tonberry, the rarest of feats. Their life expectancy is extremely short.